Yes, we're doing another foundation review. I love making foundation reviews. I think it's useful because I am very acne prone and oily skin. So I feel like a lot of people can benefit from foundation reviews. Today we're going to be reviewing the Terracotta foundation from Guerlain, and it's a pricey one. It retails for $62 if I'm not mistaken. $62. Definitely a luxe foundation. So I'm going to let you know if it's worth the money or not. I kind of compare everything to my Giorgio Armani foundation because it is my favorite one. But this one is actually there on the price point. It's a luxury item. They are claiming it's a luminous matte finish. It's a little confusing. You might be thinking luminous and matte don't kind of go together very well. But what I think it is that it dries down to a powder finish while having some light reflecting particles on it. So you don't look super flat. I haven't added any highlighter, any sprays or anything. If you're oily skin, you're probably intrigued by this because luminous foundations just don't wear well on our oily skin. This one actually wears pretty well, and I do believe that for $62 they really delivered with this. It comes in 30 different shades. I am in the shade 2N, which is too neutral, and I do find it a little bit too dark for me. So 1W or 1N could work for me. Unfortunately, this is online only, so they don't have it at my Sephora. I don't know if I'm gonna switch color or just end up returning it. I haven't really decided just yet. I just don't know if I need another 60 something foundation in my arsenal. A lot of people are claiming that it looks flat on them. Maybe they're more of a drier skin tone. So let's get right into the demo. I have applied the Rose Ink Moisturizer, the Hydration Replenish. It leaves my skin feeling nice and hydrated. So we're gonna go ahead and apply this foundation. It's not oil-free. Obviously compared to the Giorgio Armani one that I absolutely love, I can't compare it because the Giorgio Armani is oil-free. Let's see, it's supposed to be a matte luminous finish. I'm gonna start with one pump. Dripping, but very slowly. And I'm going to use my buffer brush for my foundation because it's the one that I tend to use the most. It gives me good coverage. I feel like I don't have to work so much to blend it. It's overall a really good foundation brush if you're looking for some coverage, like I have my acne scars. It seems like a good match, but I know that it's going to oxidize a little bit. It's going to be a little bit darker. Okay, it smells like a very bougie sunscreen. Like I feel like I've smelt this before. I'm gonna have to drag it down my neck because it's definitely not my color. I'm gonna grab some more. Alright, so it did give me a nice coverage. I'm gonna let it set a little bit. One pump. I still have some left. For a full face, you need at least a pump and a half. Alright, so it's given me definitely a more tanned look. The foundation is not really my color. I really wish I would have gotten in my color because it's not a bad finish. So the finish is kind of luminous. It is a little bit tacky. I think I will feel more comfortable if I do set it. It claims it like has a powder finish. I can kind of see that. It's not the type of luminous glow that you get from the light reflecting foundation. That one you actually feel it on your skin. You definitely have to set it. This one, I feel like you might get away with not setting it if you're dry, but I'm really oily. I'm definitely going to set it. I'm going to apply a little bit of concealer. It did cover pretty well. Like I just need to cover a little bit here and there. I'm not going to, just so you can see the finish, but it covered pretty well. It's a little bit on this area, but the coverage looks nice. It looks decent. I wouldn't say it's the most natural coverage I've ever seen, but it doesn't look like the most heaviest foundation either. It's a finish that I would consider good. I'm gonna lightly set it. I'm not gonna use a powder puff. The Ultra Blur powder from Lara. Lately, I kind of prefer this one over the original one because the original one to me feels really matte and really drying. This one actually gives you a very natural finish. When you swatch it in your hand, you can kind of see some light reflecting particles on it. It started raining outside. So this is a finish with the powder and without. It obviously mattified. All right, so that is how the foundation looks with powder on. I think for the price, you are getting a very great finish. And I would say comparing it to the Giorgio Armani, since they're almost the same price, I think it may be targeted towards a more mature generation because of the price point, of course, and because of that powder finish that they're claiming. A lot of people come to me at Sephora asking for powder foundations, and it tends to be an older generation. So I feel like it's mixing two in one. You do get hydration because of the argan oil, and you also get that liquid to powder finish with a luminance. Because if I were to choose, I would probably go towards the Giorgio Armani because it's a little bit more sheer, it's a little bit more natural, it's the same price, it's oil free. On the wear test, you will see how it wears throughout the day, but it holds well. It doesn't break apart on me. So I think it looks really good. I'm gonna apply the rest of my makeup and I'll be right back. I just applied like a little bit of blush and it applies really nicely over the powder and over the foundation. We're gonna move on to the wear test. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and a subscribe. So I made it back home and there's noticeable shine right here. And it's been like since I applied it at 2-ish. So it's about to be 7 hours. I do feel like it oxidizes a little bit. So I'm gonna try and change the shade for something a little bit lighter. However, even though there's oil, it's not breaking apart just yet. So I feel like if I prime correctly and use a setting spray, I will probably get this foundation to perform a lot better. I'm gonna blot real quick. This is just a napkin. All right, so on the forehead, minimal color transfer. A little more on the cheek. There's not even like buildup here because I usually get buildup. Okay, so I feel like now that I blot, it actually looks good. Like I'm ready to keep going for longer hours. I'm actually impressed. I don't know. We'll keep testing it.